Hey there and welcome to SI Now. It's Tuesday, December 19th, and I'm Ryan Asselt alongside Robin Lundberg, and we're counting down a look back at the past year in sports. And pro athletes are more connected to us than ever before, especially on social media. And 2017 brought us some epic online burns, face palms, call out, you got it, we saw it on social media. So here's our countdown of the top sports social media posts of the year. At number 5, Eric Bledsoe comes in with his tweet when he said, "I don't want to be here." Now, his team took that. He didn't want to be in Phoenix. He later told his GM that he was talking about being at a hair salon. I guess this is his deny until the truth finally comes out. Well, the truth finally came out. Phoenix shipped him to Milwaukee a couple weeks later, right?
Yeah, it was kind of the ultimate subtweet at the Suns organization. And when you see that, you wonder, hey, could there be another reason behind this? Or is it what we all think, and it's a 2017 trade demand? And Eric Bledsoe had the quintessential 2017 trade demand. At number 4, we have Joel Embiid. His teammate Ben Simmons tweeted crazy pills, seemingly in reaction to a LeVar Ball draft night interview. Embiid responded, "Please dunk on him so hard that his daddy runs on the court to save him." Of course, referencing what would happen to Lonzo Ball. And the Ball family, fitting that they're involved.
Yeah, they've been involved in a lot on social media this year. Yeah, and this was just the start of the Embiid and LeVar Ball feud, because LeVar shot back on Instagram. They went back and forth for a while. Eventually, Joel basically ended it, posting a picture of him laying the ball in over Lonzo Ball and taking one more shot at LeVar. If you remember noticing the location of that Instagram post, he tweeted it. He posted LeVar, far, Iran. So one more little dig at the Ball family.
Embiid one day hopes to be in the MVP conversation for the NBA. He was definitely in the MVP conversation for social media poster of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. This one goes up as the oops social media moment of the year. Serena Williams accidentally announcing her pregnancy by showing the baby bump on Snapchat. Now, she didn't mean to announce it to the world. She said she had been chronicling her progress in her pregnancy in pictures. She hit the wrong button, and then all of a sudden, the floodgates opened. Everyone knew the cat was out of the bag.
It was sort of cool, though, because you could see how happy people were for Serena, and she's so dominant on the court. To see this other side of her off the court was, heartwarming. I suppose it's a holiday
you never
season.
Get to see
heartwarming, right?
It's a good point, because you never get to see her in that light. She's so intense, and she's been so dominant over her career. To see a softer personal side of her, even though it was by accident, it was pretty cool.
At number 2, we have Kevin Durant's fake Twitter, Instagram post. It was curious when KD responded to someone on Twitter and criticized Thunder coach Billy Donovan in the third person. We later found out he had fake accounts like Choir Sultan he used to defend himself and just kind of forgot to switch over.
Yeah, this was not a good look from Durant. I mean, remember when this happened? You just thinking to yourself, really? Kevin Durant, NBA MVP's got a fake Twitter account defending himself, defending, the critics, questioning why he left Oklahoma City. He brought Westbrook into those conversations. He brought Billy Donovan in. Yeah, not your finest look, KD.
He always seems sensitive, and this was the confirmation of that. Remember the Mr. Inconsistent headline in the Oklahoma City paper? In some markets, that's a compliment, because they're saying you're good some of the time. Right. And that bothered him, and he would lash out at the media, and this just helped further that reputation. And it's one that's going to bother him for a while now, because Kevin Durant has been at the top of his profession, but he probably doesn't feel he's received the recognition because he's never universally been considered the best player in the league at the same time as getting criticized for winning the championship the way he did.
Hopefully he's closed down the fake account, though we may never know. He could have others out there. Number 1 on the list, LeBron's "you bum" tweet. The response, of course, to President Trump's tweet at Steph Curry. And let's preface this by saying President Trump's tweets throughout the year really set the tone for social media in sports. We didn't want to put his tweets there. We singled it into the athletes' tweets on social media. And LeBron really caught people's attention by the "you bum" tweet.
It was the most retweeted athlete tweet of the year. At the same time, it's sort of surreal. I mean, I guess it's par for the course in this year, but that the most famous athlete in the country would be tweeting at the president and calling him a bum for all to see. But it was both a social commentary, maybe an invitation for athletes to speak out, and pretty hilarious at the same time, because I saw a lot of "you bum" talk right after.
Oh, you had the "you bum" hats. The whole thing was kind of infantile because Steph said he wasn't going to the White House. Then President Trump tweeted, hey, you're not invited to the White House. And LeBron basically pointed out, hey, he already withdrew his invitation. He's not going. You bum. He put it out there. Yeah.
To recap, here are SI Now's top social media posts of the year. Number 1, LeBron's "You Bum," Durant's fake Twitter accounts, Serena's accidental pregnancy announcement, Joel Embiid dunking on the balls, and at number 5, Eric Bledsoe allegedly in the hair salon. Embiid took the 4th spot on our social media list, but he's a treasure trove on Twitter. Watch this.
This has to stop. Mom is questioning me if I really want to date 40 or 50-year-old women. It was a joke. I'm focused on rehab and basketball.
False.
That's fake.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
How old did you say?
40 and 50-year-old.
Yeah, that was me.
That was you.
That was like 2 years ago, yeah.
He really tweeted that?
Yeah. Soccer commentators got the best phrases. Tasty footwork, delicious goal. Hashtag Hala Madrid.
I'm going to say yes on that one.
That was real. I remember that.
I've always thought Elena loved Stefan more, but she doesn't have the balls to admit it, and it makes me sick. That John is lit, though. Hashtag Team Stefan.
I have no idea what that's in reference to.
That one, I don't that was fake.
I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
He's tweeting about the Vampire Diaries.
Oh, see, I don't watch TV like that, so I wouldn't know.
This server has no chill. All I want is a Shirley Temple.
That was fake too.
True.
Yep.
Breaking news. NBA 2K15 was the best NBA 2K.
No.
False.
Nope.
Please dunk on him so hard that his daddy runs on the court to see.
Yeah, that's true. That was real. I remember that blew up on the scene.
Yes, I do know that one. Absolutely true.
Please dunk on him so hard that his daddy runs on the court to save him.
Oh, really? Yeah.
That Joel is a character.
There's been lots of controversy about wide receivers not getting into the Hall of Fame in recent years, but Isaac Bruce's name hasn't come up so much. He sat down recently with Maggie Gray to talk about his Hall of Fame chances.
You're a semifinalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This is
Again.
really exciting. Again,
Yeah.
is this exciting, or does it feel like, okay,
no.
when am I going to get in now?
Absolutely, it's very exciting. I mean, when you look at it, you're talking about 25 people who've played a sport that's beloved in America, and you're in a group where you're those 25 players looking to be enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So I'm always grateful for it. It's happened 1, 2, 3 years now, and I'm excited. I was a finalist last year. Looked like I'm making huge steps every year. So I'm anticipating a really big party in Minnesota this year.
Okay, so you feel like you're getting in. I mean, you just
Absolutely.
watched Kurt Warner, your former teammate,
Absolutely.
get in. Does that make you like, what kind of emotions does that stir up when you watch someone get in who you played with?
I mean, it's amazing because it's so real. I mean, you spend time in the huddle with guys. I mean, Marshall's there already, Orlando's there already, and then Kurt last summer. And just know that you played with those guys, and now they're enshrined. They're like immortalized in the highest way possible in the game that you love, grew up loving, and playing with all the heroes that I saw coming up, like the Dan Marinos, guys of that nature. So just knowing that I have an opportunity to be there is really exciting and humbling.
Yeah. Randy Moss, first ballot, first time on the ballot. Does he get in first ballot Hall of Famer?
We'll see. I mean, I don't see why 2 receivers won't go this year, or 3 maybe. So he definitely on the field. He did a lot of great things, man. He was an amazing football player.
We see T.O. has gotten also, you know, shut out a couple of years in a row. Same as you, actually, right? At 3 times, I believe this is his 4th time trying. Do you feel like he's going to get in this year?
Well, maybe. I felt like he should have been in a long time ago. And you make sure you ask these guys about me when they're sitting here, okay?
Without a doubt.
And but you know, on the field, I mean, if you just remove the images, look at the stats from the 3 wide receivers that are on the ballot this year. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. So I mean, you have myself. I mean, I was the 2nd person ever to hit 15,000 yards receiving. You know, over 1,000 yards catching, receiving. And, you know, almost 90, 91 touchdowns in my career. Those guys have similar numbers. So I don't see why it would be hard for 3 guys not to go in at the same year. We've done it with 2 running backs last year, so it can happen.
You know, just go back to your rookie year, because that's when you were playing in L.A. The Rams were there before they moved. What do you remember about those days?
It was fun. I mean, it was probably my 3rd year being in Los Angeles at that time, because I did junior college in Los Angeles. And then to come back as a Los Angeles Ram, to be drafted by them, it was really exciting. I didn't know the value of playing on natural grass until we left and went to St. Louis, but I thought the fans were great, the ones that were coming to the game. I remember the Millen Heads. It was very exciting. And I thought we had a lot of talent on our football team at that time. But, you know, fortunately and unfortunately, for some people, we had to move on to St. Louis and did some great things in that city.
That's interesting about the grass versus the turf,
Oh, yeah.
because the turf has been immortalized because you guys were the greatest show on turf. Do you remember the first time you heard that greatest show on turf?
I think it was probably the 2nd or 3rd week of that season, 1999 season. I mean, everything was in place, from the quarterback to the wide receivers to Big O leading the charge and Marshall at running back. So, you know, the weapons that we had, it wasn't a stretch. It was really fun to play in. You had guys running wide open. From a schematic standpoint, Coach Marsh did a great job putting us in a position to succeed. So I think it's probably the 2nd or 3rd week I heard it, the greatest show on turf.
And you liked it immediately?
Absolutely. I mean, it stuck right to the group, and we didn't have to come up with something ourselves, so it was good.
Of course, you have the Super Bowl win, but you also have the loss, which is interesting because you go back to 2001, and that was Tom Brady's first Super Bowl. Excuse me. Go back to 2001, Tom Brady's first Super Bowl win. Before that game, how much were people talking about Brady?
I don't think much. I mean, we played the Patriots earlier that year in Foxborough, and I believe Bledsoe was the quarterback at the time. And it was a pretty good game, but we ended up winning it. But, you know, I didn't hear much until Bledsoe went out about Brady. And when he got in, you know, he was okay. I think his maturity as a quarterback has really skyrocketed from the time he first took the job. But he's a great player. I mean, he's very competitive, and he doesn't make mistakes.
Do you look back on that game differently now, realizing the player that Tom Brady became and that he's won 5 Super Bowls?
Well, only from a standpoint to say, well, you know what, had we won that game, I could have been able to say, you know what, I beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. So, you know, he's okay, but he ain't all that. But, I mean, that's the way I look at it. But,
Yes,
you know, it didn't materialize that way. And, you know.
Let's talk about the Flight 300 program. This is part of the Isaac Bruce Foundation. IsaacBruce.org is where you can find all the info. But this is a very specific charity. It was something that really spoke to you and, you know, helping out college students in a way that maybe a lot of people wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah, it was Flight 300. It came about probably a couple of years ago, actually really birthed by myself. Tiffany Burr, she does a great job running the foundation. But, you know, it was something that I wanted to do because I was in a position out of high school where I didn't have the funds to travel to the college of my choice at that time. And you know what? I always say that the funds arrived. I don't know where from, but I know how. And once I was in a position to, you know, kind of repay that moment, I made sure I did that. So, I mean, it's great. We have the ability to touch a lot of lives in what we do. We always hear the big gasping exasperation sound from the applicants, the ones who win the scholarship. And it's wonderful that we can do it, and it takes a lot of pressure off these students.
Really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being in here. Good luck with the Hall of Fame vote this year, and of course with your foundation.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. The champ is here, the IBF welterweight champ Errol Spence Jr. good enough to join us. You got a fight coming up January 20th at Barclays Center, taking on Lamont Peterson. This is different for you because this is the first time you're going to be defending your title. Has that impacted your training at all?
It just made me hungrier.
Really?
You know, I finally have the belt, so now it's time for me to defend it and keep it. And I know this guy, he's very experienced, been around the game for a long time, and it's basically, like his last shot is getting the world title. So he has everything to gain and nothing to lose.
New box rack rankings came out. I'm not sure how much you pay attention to this, but you're smiling, so I'm thinking maybe you saw them. You're ranked 7th in the welterweight division.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I don't know. It seemed like Boxer had something against me.
Think so?
They put me high and put me real, like, I think like 15 in the pound for pound and like number 8 or 7, like you said, in the welterweight division. I definitely think I'm top 5, especially me having, a belt, that puts me in the top. Top 4 is 4 belts out there. It has to put me in the top 4. So, I don't know. Maybe they don't think highly of me, but they'll find out January 20th.
Does that add a chip to your shoulder, or do you try to block out a lot of that stuff?
Usually I try to block it out, but, people tell me, and, I take heed to it. It's just motivation. Just keeps me hungry and just keeps that fire burning, and I still have a lot more people to prove wrong.
So funny about keeping the fire burning, because we just heard Dana White, so a different sport. He's talking about mixed martial arts, but he was talking about his fighter Conor McGregor, who after he wins a bout or loses a bout but gets paid $50 million, maybe more, said it's hard to get back into the ring, no matter what ring it is, after you've made that kind of money and you've left that kind of mark on a sport, I guess. I mean, do you think about that, now that you've tasted some success, does it get harder to get up and get punched in the face for a living?
Not for me, because I haven't made $50 million to lose. So, I can see it for McGregor. McGregor made a lot of money with the Floyd fight, and that's what makes Floyd so great, because he can do it for that long, and have all the money and everything he could possibly want, but still train like he's dead broke. So that's what makes him a great fighter. And it does seem like McGregor, taking a little time out, but I think he'll get back in the ring.
You do. So you think in a boxing ring or back in UFC?
Probably in a boxing ring. It seems like he wants to box now, so it's more money in boxing. So I think back in the boxing ring.
I guess, would you throw your hat into that ring? I mean, you have Manny Pacquiao telling him to stay in shape.
Yeah.
You have Oscar De La Hoya saying he's secretly training, even though he's been out of the game for such a long time. I mean, are you a guy who would want to face McGregor?
Definitely. McGregor, he's a mega star now. He's a mega star, has a huge name, and has a huge following. That'll be a big fight.
Would he last 10 rounds with you?
I don't think he'll last 10 rounds with me. Not on the boxing platform at all.
Floyd, though, has said maybe fight 51 could be a possibility for him. What do you think of that?
Just in his blood. It's something he's been doing since he was 5 years old. So I think, the spotlight and, just being under those bright lights, it's like a drug to him. He's addicted to it. For a guy like him, he's been everywhere. He's done everything. So I think, just the regular life gets boring. Just like with a lot of older fighters, they come back when they're older and want to fight again because, just laying around the house doing nothing, that gets old. He wants to train, he wants to work out. He likes to build up to the fight. So he might come back. Usually they do. Most of them do.
Seems like it's hard to keep fighters away. I think it'd be obvious if I ask if you would ever want to fight Floyd. Do you start thinking about, athletes always say, baseball players will say, I think of it, Game 7 of the World Series, bottom of the 9th inning, 2 outs, I'm up to bat. Do you think about that for yourself? Like, hey, what if I got a chance to fight Floyd? I'm in with him, and I could be the one who hands him his first loss.
I've thought about it before. Who doesn't? Especially he's in my weight class, so. And he's, of my era, he's the greatest fighter of my era. This is Floyd Mayweather era right now. So I definitely thought about it, and that'd be a great honor to fight Floyd Mayweather.
What in your mind? What does that look like if you beat him? What does that look like to you?
Whoever beats Floyd Mayweather, if I beat Floyd Mayweather, that breaks social media, that breaks the web, and the world stops for a second. Because Floyd Mayweather got beaten. And people have been waiting for so long for him to lose. It'll be crazy.
Errol Spence Jr., thank you so much. Always a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you.
Good luck defending this welterweight belt against Lamont Peterson, January 20th, Barclays Center, and 9 p.m. Eastern on Showtime.
Thank you.
Oh gosh, it scared me. I know, it scared me. I was like, wait, it should come, because Chase had it too, but I didn't know what it was.
I get so competitive. I need to like get as many questions as any other model has ever got with you. Being a part of the SI family was a dream of mine from when I started modeling.
Being from Europe, Sports Illustrated isn't as big as in New York, but almost everyone knows it. So actually the moment I started modeling was the moment I figured out from Sports Illustrated, and that was also the moment that I realized that I wanted to do it, because it was a big dream of mine. Seeing all those girls there and the way they represent the girls was a really nice thing, so I'm so excited to be part of this.
Nobody told me anything and everyone knew before me. And there's this big room of all you guys, and I walk in and I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be a sick joke if they just told me that I'm on option. But I walk in and you guys tell me I'm a part of the SI swimsuit family, and I was like,
I called my mom first because my mom was really excited. She was like, the moment you know something, you have to call me. So when I called her, we were both like screaming on the phone, and we were really happy, and she was so excited for me.
first of all, it was my first real shoot in the Bahamas. So that was amazing because I kept on always chirping people and clients saying, you know, gotta take the Bahamian to the Bahamas. You somehow take everyone else to the Bahamas but never Chase. And I think it was the most incredible, like, sentimental shoot I've ever had in my life.
Everyone was just so nice, so fun, and that was definitely my most memorable shooting that I had. It was a really fun couple of days.
I want to get into TV hosting, more sports panelists. Some people would say broadcasting, but maybe not like on the sidelines like Aaron Andrews, more of like a Michael Strahan. My own talk show would be fantastic. Okay, ready?
I'll give you the beat, Chase.
Okay, go.
Tell us when.
Roll.
Chase, catch the beat.
Today, what type of beat for ice cream? First of all, is that? Anyways, restart. Give me a different beat.
What's your favorite swear word?
Flying.
Same.
Yeah, I've always wanted to fly, especially before
Or teleport, it's even easier.
Yeah, but I feel like I would want to be like, here, come with me. Don't tell
Fly,
anybody.
fly away.
And like lift them up and fly away.
That's the way to get
Just ask Robin. I'm sure she's too nice to say no.
Oh, that's not true.
Really? Because I know a lot of nice people, it's like, they feel very uncomfortable letting someone down.
Yeah, but I still don't give it. I have a long conversation with people because I'm too afraid to say something, and after I'm like, I have to go, and I run.
My favorite sport is
Tennis.
Football Sunday!